So for today, I want to make a quick watercolor Mother's Day card thing, pop-up card. So what you're going to be needing is watercolor paper. I like to use 300 GSM, or let me see what GSM. So this is the grade of the watercolor paper. Couple of my watercolor brushes. I've got a size H, another size 6, possibly a size 10, and I think this is a size 14. Then I have a couple of other brushes. I've got my Sennelier watercolors here. I've got a glue stick, a scissors, erasers, and a light version pencil. So I do have 2 papers today. So I want to start off with using one. So on this one we're going to draw like the flowers. So just very lightly before I do any. And by the way, you're also going to need a marker later on. So now I just kind of want to draw like my basic flowers on this one. Usually I just kind of go straight ahead and kind of play. So I'm just going to play around and draw like different flowers. Okay. Of course, you can turn your paper around and kind of do this. Kind of do that. Okay, not perfect, but you get the idea. So I just want you to kind of play around. If you're not happy with a particular flower, you can always erase it. So I'm going to be doing like 2 of each. Very, very quick. This is a very, very quick exercise. So I'm not really paying attention to any kind of detail. Feel free to move your paper around and then utilize the space as much as you can. And I'm not focusing on any kind of particular flower type. I'm just drawing very generic flowers. So feel free to draw generic. Making use of the space that I have. And you can continue drawing and filling up your whole page as much as you want to. Okay, so once you've kind of filled your paper, the next thing what you want to do is you want to get ready with painting. So I'm going to try and do flat colors today. So what I'm going to be doing is I'll be using think this is, so 6, okay. Make sure that you have your water tray with you, and I'm going to be doing like light colors first. Okay, you can't do. Let me move up all my stuff to the side so you can get a better idea. Okay. Good. Okay. So I have my water tray right up here, and I'm basically going to be doing like the lighter color here, so kind of just filling the buds. Very flat color. I'm not going to be trying to do any kind of fanciness. You'll see why I'm doing that, of course. So anything that's kind of yellowish, kind of go there. Okay. Simple, easy. Just generally having fun with this. Okay. Now I'm going to start with like a reddish color. Crimson red color, or and again, I'm painting this very flat, very flat. I'm not going to be doing anything fancy to it because later on I'll be using markers or cookie pens or felt pens. So this is just a very quick, easy, very simple non-stylized painting. And I'm using watercolors, not gouache. So you can continue going through all the colors. Okay, so once you've got one flower, you can do like the rest. If you want to use the same color somewhere else, you just kind of repeat the same color. So I think I might do like 2 of the same each. And again, I'm not doing tonal variation or grading or shading on this because I'm going to be taking a marker afterwards and then kind of drawing the details. So I really want like flat colors. And this is a very quick exercise. It's not like I'm going to be running through things. So what I mean by that is like quick and easy, no particular fuss. Do use round brushes if you're going to do this. It's not going to be perfect. Okay. Okay, so for the next one I might do like a bluish color. It's one of my favorites. Kind of reminds me of pansies. I don't know what else to call them. You don't have to use pencil. Personally for me, when I do watercolors, I like to paint straight on with a brush. I draw with a brush basically. But there's a reason for this, why I'm doing this kind of style. So let's work with it. Okay. And I'm not painting the background. You'll see why I'm going to do that, because we're going to cut this out later on. Okay, so continue to do 2 of the same each. Okay, so I'm going to do these 2. I don't know what color I want yet. Maybe like a magenta. Let's see if I have enough of this color. Don't think so. Let's test. Oh, I do. So by the way, the watercolor paper size is about a B5 size, if you had to do photocopy color size. Or in Taiwan, they would specifically say 16K. 16K. Or 16K. Okay, I'm not sure what color I want to do these 2. Maybe like a pink. Haven't really gotten. Okay, so once you've done some of this, I suggest you dry it. You can use a hairdryer, or if you want, you can use a paper towel. But keep in mind, if you use the paper towel, it's going to lift the color. So if you don't want to lift the color, use either a hairdryer or wait for it to dry, and then get ready to get a marker or marker pen for the details. Okay, so once it's dry, you can take out a multi-liner pen, or you can take like a marker. Now, I'm not going to be drawing on the outside, and you'll see why. So some of it's still kind of relatively wet. I like to use like a brush type marker pen, but you can use any kind of marker for this, which is kind of very fancy. So the reason for that is I'm going to be playing around with some detail. So basically outlining. Let me just try this one. Ah, there we go. Always have like a piece of paper, like this one, scrap piece of paper, to test if your markers or your pens have, you know, kind of, it's like a brush pen, like an artist pen. You can buy any brand. Okay. I'm just playing around with this. So basically, kind of, let's go here. Kind of reminds me of like an eyeliner. If you've ever done like liquid eyeliner, that's the same feeling. And then you hold it. So again, a very flat, generic type flower. Okay, this area is still wet. So now, and don't worry about your pencil lines so much. Okay. So basically what I'm going to do with each flower, I'm going to be doing an outline and playing around with it like that. Let's move on to this flower. Daisy. It looks like a daisy. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, let's see if this is actually dry. Okay, not yet. So if I want a more controlled line, I switch to a different kind of marker. Thin line. If I want a flowing one, I can do a different one. Okay, so I'm ready to move on to the bigger one. Make sure that it's dry. I think I'm going a little bit too fast here. Again, very generic, not fancy. Okay, so once you're kind of happy with this kind of thing, you want to cut out each flower. So I'm going to basically start by cutting around it, each flower first. So cut these out. Okay. Kind of do that. Cut around it. Okay, so to make the pop-up, we're going to be cutting the detail. So I'll show you one. So now you can cut the detail. If you lose a bit of detail, just remember you can always go over it with a marker, or you can go slightly around it, maybe leave a bit of the paper around it, like that. Okay. So there's one. Let me do another one. So this one. Okay, for the smaller ones, you maybe want to just go like in a circle like that. And the bigger ones, you can really kind of go into it. Doesn't have, again, not perfect, but don't forget to turn your paper. So as you can see, I have a little bit of this white sticking out, but you know, okay, you can always go back and just trim it whichever way you want. Cut it out like that, and then again like this, so that it looks like that. Okay, so it's not perfect. You can fill up the white spaces with marker, or you can keep cutting it. So continue to do that with each flower until you have all the round ones, a whole selection of loose flowers. Okay, so once you've cut all your flowers out, you want to get your other paper ready. And if you feel like you want to, there's some bit that you missed. So I'm going to show you one example. You're going to take some, kind of go a little bit in, and you're going to fold it with your hand. Okay, you might want to cut this one. So to make the pop-up, you don't cut right through. Be careful that you cut right through. So you can kind of bend it in, you know, like there. Kind of do that. Let's see if it's going to work. Fold it like that. Take each flower and then, you know, kind of bend it a little bit this way, that way, this way. And go inside, bend it this way, bend it this way. Okay. Right, so this one's a little different. I would have gone kind of like this, kind of like that. So give it like 4/4, like that. Maybe go like this, go like this. Be gentle. Okay, there we go. Just to keep it, or pinch it, like that. I would do it kind of like this, basically. And then do this one the same. Fold it down. Okay. These ones, you could either do it like this, there, and half it. So do that. Fold each flower gently, big ones. Okay. Okay, so I might want to do these ones almost the same, I guess. Like that. Oh dear. Moving on. Okay, so now for your next paper, I'm using the same size paper. You can either decide to do, if you want to do a drawing in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this paper and I'm going to fold it in half like this. I'll fold it like a book. Okay. And then make sure that all four corners touch. So basically you can open it again. Now, options. You can either just start to, what I would do is I would start to glue it on this line here. Okay, in the middle. Now you could start to glue it, or if you want to do like a vase, that's fine, it's up to you. So you can kind of take these flowers, just put them along here. Okay, there. Okay. Let me see where I want to put this. Okay. Maybe you want to kind of do, what I would do is before I glue it, I would kind of rearrange it into a composition that I like. Okay. Let's see where this is going to go. You could do a vase first, or you don't have to do a vase. So basically, just to give you an idea of what it would look like. Okay. And you can rearrange the flowers either way that you like. Okay, so this is a very small paper that I'm using here, but I'm going to work with it. I'm not going to waste it. So now what I want to do is I want to kind of maybe do a vase. That was the decision. So I'm going to grab my pencil. Okay. And if I'm my pencil, where's my pencil? Oh dear. Okay. And then I'm going to do like just a light positioning. So I kind of know, you can decide on what vase. I'm going to do like a nice flat vase. So you might want to leave space for writing as well. So this just kind of gives me an idea. If I want to do like a square one, or like a, you know. Okay, I'm thinking square. So let's do that. Now, before you paint this, remove your flowers. Okay. And then you can kind of work on your drawing. If you want to do more detailed stuff, I suggestively wouldn't do that. Just get the basics done and actually kind of just paint. So just remember, you're not going to paint the top. So what I want to do here is, my scissors, it's a very small space. Just kind of give it a bit of a round space. Okay, and again, I want to choose like a warm color. Maybe you can do like a background, up to you. Right, so let's get started with the paint bit. So for bigger surfaces, I like to use a big brush because it's going to work much faster. Haven't decided what color I want to use. Maybe I actually do want to use like a plant green, like a yellow, lemon yellow green, or a light green, lemongrass green, whatever. Just paint that. Again, very generic. And it's not going to be realistic. I'm just doing like for fun illustration. Okay. And I might do a shading, I don't know. Let's do like background color. Wonder what that would look like. That. Of course, this is a very simplistic, very quick, very easy, sort of fun card. That's the whole idea. It's supposed to be very bright. Okay. So now wait for it to dry before you start gluing these flowers on. Okay, so once it's dry, you can erase the pencil out, and again you can take your marker and kind of go over part. So if you feel like it's not good enough, you could use a different kind of thick marker. I'm going to see which one's going to... So my marker's a bit picky today. Try to use an alcohol-based marker if you can. They generally last a lot longer. Okay, so I'm very impatient. I'm looking really fast. So I'm not really going to worry too much about... I kind of messed up the side. Again, if you mess up, make sure that your brush is super clean. No color, you can take a bit of water and take a tissue and just kind of lift it. Let's see what happens. Dab it like that. Just see. Okay. Alright, so now, so what I want to do is, let's see, take your glue. If you've got like Elmer's glue or Pronell glue, that might actually work better. Whitewood glue, but this is a glue stick, it should do fine. So again, you can kind of bend your paper, and usually I would glue, like, put some glue onto that side, like a lot. Kind of press it out, fold it like that. Fold it, fold it. Let's do this one. Kind of put a lot of glue here. There. Like that. Okay. So if this is going to bother you, then you can always just shift it. So again, to test it, what you want to do is you want to kind of gently bend it, and then on the folded line where you folded it, press it down. Okay, go again. Oh dear. Aha. Right. Okay, so if that happens, it's fine. So I'm going to do another piece. Let's put that, I don't want it here, like that. And again, gently press it close to see if it's going to work. So that it does that. Okay. I'm putting glue on each one. Okay. Gently bending it. Okay. Hang on, I might move this one. So the smaller flowers, you might want to just leave them kind of flat. So if they're like this size, maybe just glue it on flat. There. Okay. Okay, so now, once you've done that, okay, here's your flower arrangement. You can actually decide to glue bits and pieces here together. Maybe that would work for you. Okay, so I'm going to just add more glue here because I think this is not going to stick. You could use double-sided tape. I might actually want to glue these pieces together like that. So attach to the big flower like that. Let's see what's going to happen. Maybe move this one like that. Add lots of glue. There we go. See what happens if I do that. Maybe kind of stick it. Okay. Move your paper around so that you can sort of see what you're doing three-dimensionally. Okay. So that it gives you that three-dimensional effect. Okay. I might want to join. Hang on. Okay. So press it down, hold it down. Okay. My suggestion that you use a stronger glue. Okay. Okay, so now, once that's kind of done, but you actually kind of hid these blue flowers a little bit. Okay. So now I'm going to take this and I'm gently going to press that down and fold it again. Gently. You might hear some kind of crackling on the paper. Like that. Let's see what happens. Oh boy. Okay. So, yeah. There you go. So, not perfect, but let's move it around, see what happens. I think the big flower is probably... there we go. I think I know what it is. There. Let's move that to there. In the middle. Fold it down. Okay. So slightly up, slightly not up. Okay, so now you can kind of go back in and do your pot stuff. So there you have it. This is the pop-up thing. Make sure that it's kind of dry before you present it. And on this side you might want to, you could write like a message, Happy Mother's Day, or do another painting, up to you. So yeah, I think I might use stronger glue than this. That's it. Okay, so I ended up using double-sided tape. Probably, side note, what you should do before you glue the flowers, you should probably decorate the outside first. So when you do this, fold it and do this first. So either in the front you can decide to do like writing, or you could do another painting. So when you open it up to you. I'm just going to do like a very basic, very basic lettering. Nothing fancy. You could do a watercolor here if you want to. You could do flowers, maybe paint the same version but just not three-dimensional. So up to you. So what I decided to do here is just kind of a very basic writing. I'm not very good at typography. So now I'm going to be taking a marker pen or a pen and see how it's going to go. Very, very basic. Okay, so my card is not, okay, let's see, I'm not happy with the coloring. Let's see if I can use my marker here. Let's go. Nope, okay. Now, I'm going to use, let's see, what do I have? Pen. Oh. Okay. Might want to use a tiny brush. Where is my small brush? Ah, here we go. It's the smallest. So let's use the black. Okay, let's see. Oh, looks a bit spooky. Ha. Okay, this looks a bit spooky. Sorry. Okay, wait for that to dry. Maybe not use this. Let's see. Okay, so I grabbed a Posca marker instead. Let's see how that's going to work. Probably better. Let's fix the writing a bit. This is probably a bit too dark. Oops. So let's see if I can fix it. And so when you use it, here we go, you can kind of open it. Like that. And there you have it.